Listen, my name is Reality D, and I am poetically lethal. Poetically lethal. My rhymes maim and kill all phony hypocrites by honestly revealing those skeletons in people's closets that is usually hidden behind corrupt activities concealed real tight. But I address it accurately with my spiritual insight, because my spiritual light is how I fight the very plight of dealing with sinful parasites who like to invite total corruption and moral destruction into our society through sexual seduction, moral reduction, violent eruption, and corrupt mainstream induction. Those same forces attempted to crush my ego and self-esteem by shattering my childhood dreams and rejecting me from the mainstream. But through my poetry, I can finally lash out at all cutthroat people by speaking the blatant truth and being poetically lethal. Poetically lethal. I am poetically lethal. My rhymes can either enlighten or offend any listener who pretends that they love God when they really love sin. And there is no way they can defend their corrupt lifestyle when even God himself frowns on them. And regardless of how much their sins impress in-crowd friends, they will still face spiritual consequences in the end. Because all it takes is one gust of tornado-powered wind for people's entire sinful world to cave in when they are misbehaving. So my poems are the reflection of people's true moral direction and hopefully assist with any correction of people's extreme moral imperfection. Plus, God wants my poems to serve as a lesson for people ready for confession. That way God can start blessing more people to benefit from Jesus' selection. But my truthful words are usually met with rejection by people who like to question how I got the social election to judge people for their sinful profession. But I'm not judging anyone for their moral selection. I am simply the spiritual eyewitness to people's moral direction, because anybody who hurts other people is on Satan's team, regardless of how religious they may seem, because those same forces attempted to crush my ego and self-esteem by shattering my childhood dreams and rejecting me from the mainstream. But through my poetry, I can finally lash out at all cutthroat people by speaking the blatant truth and being poetically lethal. Poetically lethal. I am poetically lethal. This poem has no sequels, but it still must be heard, because I can build or destroy with my poetic verbs anybody who underestimates righteous words as only coming from a nerd and sounding absurd, because my rhymes will jab you like a dagger and stab you right at the core of your spirit. That's why hypocrites fear it when they hear it, because their dark souls cannot withstand the light of truthful poem lyrics. So hypocrites prefer to steer it out of their earshot because they cannot bear it. That's why all truth tellers must stay alert, because hypocrites are trying to dig up dirt on any truth teller so their reputation can be hurt in the attempt to destroy any truthful content or any principles that they represent, because hypocrites try to bury the truth and make people forget by causing truth tellers to lose credit among the same people who would normally respect them. But after a damaged reputation, truth tellers face rejection, and those same forces attempted to crush my ego and self-esteem by shattering my childhood dreams and rejecting me from the mainstream. But through my poetry, I can finally lash out at all cutthroat people by speaking the blatant truth and being poetically lethal. Poetically lethal. I am poetically lethal.